Unit 21 is about using and designing Office forms, and Lesson 101 and our two documents from this lesson are on utilizing templates. Form 101-1 is a memo template. You need to browse through the notes that precede this set of instructions. I'm going to guide you through some of it because GDP warns you about some errors that are counted against you that are not your fault. So that's why we're opening it from within GDP this time. Lesson 101, double-click Form 101-1. While we're reading here, I want to point out that these documents will not be graded for formatting, but rather for your ability to follow the instructions related to the use of the template feature in Word. For that reason, you'll notice that step 1 is to complete Lesson 101 in your word processing manual, the small blue book, before you attempt these documents. You also need to know proofreading marks for this first one, so you can refer to page R14 in your reference manual for that. Notice here, disregard any header or footer codes that are marked in your scored document. What that doesn't tell you is it counts as 3 errors. So let's proceed and I'll show you what happens. This note is important. You are to save the new template document with the following file name so that GDP can report it. You must name it Form 101-1. Right this time, we click Go to Word Processor. I'm going to use the memo that pre-selected blank memo template that is opened automatically. Review the steps in Lesson 101 in the word processing manual to use this template. We're going to use the month, day, year format for the date and type the information from the copy shown on page 401. Follow the instructions on the screen. When it says click here and type the name, you just click once. It is highlighted. You don't have to delete it. You just start typing and it types over it. The date is a little troublesome. I think I have found that you need to delete the entire field and then type the date shown in your book. It is designed so that you can update to the current date, but that's not what we want to do here. We want to delete it entirely until all you see is your insertion point on the blank line there. Then type June 17, 2010. You should take a few minutes to read the content here before you delete it. You might even choose to print it before you delete it. Now I'm going to delete it and begin our memo. The template assignment is a little confusing because we have been cautioned about several things that don't seem to pan out. One is that space will be inserted between paragraphs. However, I found that in this template that was not true. I needed to still press enter 2 times to insert a blank line between paragraphs. The other thing is that GDP instructs you to save the new template document with the following name, Form 101-1, but it does seem to have this name already at the top. GDP seems to be taking care of that already for us. So you can, if you like, press save again, but it's saving it with that name, so it should be fine, to then return to GDP. I'm going to do that so I can show you what kind of errors it's going to count against us. You will find under header that they are considering the date an error. This is what we're told to disregard. It counts as 3 errors. So this time, the best I could say is to return to GDP and correct your documents to 3 errors.